happened to Lily?
We feel like we should check it out.
Yeah, of course. Do whatever it takes to keep the family safe.
So Matt Clark is free.
Just disappeared. Once he was released, he took off.
That means he could be anywhere. He could be on this ranch. How is this happening again?
The Young and the Restless, YNR, recap for Friday, February 27th, indicates that Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, will text Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and reveal what it'll take to protect Noah Newman, Lucas Adams. Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, will also have a proposal for Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, Tracy E. Bregman, to mull over. So let's talk about what's ahead on YNR. At Chancellor, Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, will stop by and let Billy know she's hired Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, as her co-CEO. After Sally says the name of the company is now Spectra Charles Media, Billy will be thrown before deciding he understands. Billy won't see why their personal relationship has to end because of a professional disagreement, so he'll push Sally to have dinner with him. Sally will resist the idea, so Billy will suggest it could be a goodbye dinner if she's determined to stand her ground. After Sally agrees, she'll fill Audra in on the news later. Sally will act like she just wants to be civil with Billy and end the relationship on a good note, but Audra will worry Billy will convince Sally to get back together. Even if that doesn't happen, Audra will point out that Billy may not take no for an answer. That could turn this civil breakup into a contentious one, but Audra won't be able to talk Sally out of moving ahead with this dinner. At Newman Enterprises, Lauren will surprise Phyllis when she shows up to praise her for undermining Victor Newman, Eric Braden, and offer her congratulations. Phyllis will suspect there's a catch, but Lauren will make it clear that she's being genuine here. That said, Lauren will suspect Phyllis has a little remorse over what she's done since it's hurting Nick and Summer Newman, Allison Lanier. Phyllis will continue to defend her actions, but Lauren will suggest she could be a sympathetic ear over a celebratory breakfast. At the GCAC, Billy will stop by Lauren and Phyllis's table. Lauren will assume Phyllis didn't hand Billy Chancellor out of the goodness of her heart, but he'll act like it wouldn't take much to convince him to go up against Victor. Once Billy struts off, Phyllis will ultimately push Lauren to come work for her. Lauren will be flattered, but she'll insist she's content where she is now. Phyllis will think Lauren may just be complacent instead, so she'll play up this new adventure and push Lauren to at least think about joining her at Newman Enterprises. At Crimson Lights, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, will worry about Nick perhaps becoming too dependent on his painkillers. Sharon and Victoria will also discuss Matt being on the loose, and how that's going to be Nick's focus, so there's no chance of him going with Victoria to Milan on a summer mission. Outside, Nick will struggle with pain as he gazes at the fentanyl bag. After Nick takes a pill out, he'll throw it on the ground and try to resist. However, Nick's pain will ultimately win out, so he'll pick the pill up from the snow and gulp it down with some water. Next, Nick will join Sharon and Victoria inside. Once some texts come in from Matt, he'll make it clear to Nick that he wants $5 million to get rid of him for good and ensure that he leaves Noah alone. Nick will give Sharon and Victoria that information, so they'll realize they need to set a trap to lure Matt out of hiding. Once Nick comes up with an idea, he'll suggest Matt won't be able to resist it. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Nick's risky strategy won't go according to plan, so stay tuned. Sally Spectra will undoubtedly try to be the voice of reason, begging Billy to give Victor whatever he wants. She has already warned him that his reckless ambition would cost him everything, and now that prophecy is coming true in the worst possible way. But giving in to Victor is not in Billy's nature. It feels like surrender, a validation of everything Victor has ever said about him, that he is an incompetent, reckless child who doesn't deserve to run a major corporation. Yet the alternative is unthinkable. Can Billy live with himself if he refuses Victor's demands and something happens to Jack? The weight of that question will drive the drama for the entire week, as Billy desperately searches for a third option, a way to save both his brother and his dream. Diane and Kyle, a family under siege. While Billy grapples with the ultimatum, the rest of the Abbott family is not sitting idly by. Diane Jenkins, who has fought so hard to rebuild her life and her family, will be consumed by a terror she hasn't felt since her days on the run. Her worst nightmares are realized as the man she loves is held captive by a man who has proven time and again that he will stop at nothing to win. Diane's maternal instincts will kick into overdrive, not just for Jack, but for Kyle, as she tries to hold the fractured family together. Kyle Abbott, meanwhile, will likely channel his fear into a cold, calculated fury. He knows Victor Newman better than most. He has worked for him, been manipulated by him, and has even been entangled with his granddaughter, Claire. Kyle will want to confront Victor directly, to tear through the Newman ranch with a righteous anger that could easily get him killed or thrown in jail for trespassing. It will be up to Diane and possibly Tracy Abbott to hold him back, to remind him that a frontal assault on the Newman fortress is exactly what Victor wants. It would paint the Abbotts as the aggressors and justify his actions. The family will rally, but the cracks will show. Will Jack and Diane's renewed marriage survive this ultimate test? Will Kyle's burgeoning feelings for Claire Newman be completely incinerated by her grandfather's actions? The personal toll of Victor's power play will be felt in every corner of the Abbott lives. The Newman family drama, Nikki's silent complicity. Across town at the Newman ranch, the atmosphere will be equally tense, though for different reasons. Victor, having set his plan in motion, will be in full-on patriarch mode, confident in the righteousness of his mission. He will likely justify his actions to himself and to his family as necessary for the protection of the Newman legacy. Jack Abbott isn't just a prisoner. In Victor's mind, he is a hostage in a war he didn't start. Nikki Newman, however, will be the wild card. Fresh off her own battles and her role as the CEO of the company Billy so desperately wants, Nikki is no stranger to Victor's dark side. But kidnapping is a line that even she may struggle to condone. The spoilers hint at a growing rift between Victor and Nikki over his methods. While she benefits from holding Chancellor, did she sign up for this? Viewers can expect to see Nikki wrestling with her conscience, torn between her loyalty to her husband and the moral compass that has always made her the heart of the Newman family. Will she stand by Victor's side, or will she be the quiet voice urging him to find another way before it's too late? Victoria Newman and Adam Newman will also have their own reactions. Victoria, who has her own complicated history with Billy, may feel a pang of sympathy, while Adam, ever the pragmatist, will likely see the strategic advantage of crippling the Abbotts once and for all. The kidnapping will force the Newmans to close ranks, but the ethical fault lines will be deep and potentially devastating. The clock is ticking, a race against time. As the week of March 2nd progresses, the tension will become unbearable. Billy's deadline will loom larger with each passing hour. He may attempt to bring in outside help, perhaps Michael Baldwin.